Hi, I'm Shane Dahl.
And I'm Norma Dahl.
And we own Moter Speedway, which doesn't exist yet.
Right.
How about that? But we know it's going to. It was too hot this last weekend, so we didn't go down there. Actually, it was because somebody forgot to set their alarm. So we had other obligations, so we had to leave early anyway, so we couldn't get the front gutters up, and we was afraid that it would do more damage than good, but we found, in the meantime, it hadn't rained, so they wouldn't have done nothing. So we were trying to figure out what we're going to put on this video, and my wife says, well, you don't talk about God enough. I said, really?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's right.
Mm-hmm.
How often did I mention God in the other videos? Not very many times. Well, God set this journey on me 12 years ago, and I was still a baby Christian because I'd only I only started practicing 6 years before that. So I was a baby, and I'm still learning, and I'm still a baby, actually.
You still are a baby.
Yeah, I got a long ways to go. I'm a mess. So, anyway, this is how God's using us. We went to a kart track 12 years ago. Well, just me and my dad and my family. we went to Emma. It was an indoor track, and they run over the winter. So we went down there to watch some racing, and I just kind of thought, wow, that's just cool. That's really cool. And this happened really slow over 12 years. I kept thinking, well, that's pretty cool. Everything I started learning was pretty cool. And next thing I know, my uncle's saying, hey, if my daughter wants to race, we could borrow his cart. So we ended up doing that. So I got a little taste of that side of it. And along the way, I kind of see things that weren't cool and things that were cool. And then over time, I finally felt, God kind of pushing me towards that. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I know how people treat promoters, and it's not very nice. So I have no real desire to do this other than God saying, well, I've done all these things in your life for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I get a little choked up because you look back on my whole life, it was at one point racing became my idol.
And how would you learn from that?
Well, now he's making me close. He's using my idol to minister to other people. That's what it amounts to. So it's not my idol anymore. I put it in its place. And
You got it, honey.
I don't know. This is part of what happens to you when you become a Christian is you get heartfelt when you're talking about God. You talk about God. It brings over these emotions that you're just not ready for.
Because he's working on you.
Yeah, because I didn't cry at all. Now I'm just a crybaby.
Yep. Well, we've seen a lot of miracles in this, from the time of remodeling Shane's home. Things that could have been impossible for us to even do with just the two of us. We've seen a lot of miracles. And we've plainly seen God in it, And, your house was only, after we finished remodeling, the house was only on the market for 2 weeks?
Yeah, about a week and a half.
Yeah, and we only had 2 lookers, and then it was sold.
Yep.
And, not a very good market, at the end of a good market.
Yeah, well, it was only good as far as the 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 appraisals for a house just went nuts because everybody was trying to buy a house now, and we got in on the very end of all that, and
Right. So that was a miracle in itself because we were right on that line of just, let's get this done. And God allowed that to happen. And the property, finding this property, we had no idea what, God was going to give us. We didn't think that we would get the property that we have. It was a little bit more than what we thought, but God's plan is bigger than ours.
well, it wasn't bigger as far as money goes. It got bigger. Just here's one of the miracles.
Acres,
Yeah.
acres.
Here's one of the miracles. We went to look at 11 acres. That's what this lot was supposed to be, is 11 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down there, and I jumped the fence because there wasn't any gate anywhere that we could find. So I jumped the fence and I walked the whole perimeter, and I made a turn and looked, and I'd seen that property before, even though that was the first time I'd ever stood ground on it. So anyway, we was looking at 11 acres. That's what we thought. Well, our agent told us we need to get it surveyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we signed paperwork that said if it was under 11, we were still paying the same price. If it was over 11, we'd still saying the same price. So we ended up with 2.25 more acres
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere. So apparently we need that much. And the property has a perfect split down the middle. There's a pasture on the front and a pasture on the back, and woods in between,
Mm-hmm.
and a little path that connects them. So the front half happens to have highway frontage, and the back half is on a county road.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a perfect layout. And there's going to be some things to overcome, like there's no pond, and there's just well water. So that'd probably be asking a lot out of a well for enough water to water a track. So it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be. We're here on Earth.
Right.
We're not perfect, and nothing is going to be perfect. So we just gotta keep our heads down and keep marching on. And it's going to take a long time,
Mm-hmm.
without more miracles, to even build the track. Because all I have is tractor. I'll end up buying a blade, but that's got to move quite a bit of dirt with just a tractor blade. So we'll see how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we supposed to do? Like, share. Is that it?
And subscribe.
And subscribe. That's it. Subscribe.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. Until next time.
Hmm?
That's messing me up here.
What?
That's
it's a
your
pillow.
pillow.
It's a pillow, for goodness sake.
That's driving me nuts. It looked like your hair was sticking straight out. All right.
Don't you worry
Let's
about
start
my
off
hair.
again.
Why don't you just
Okay,
pay
honey.
attention to what your words are? And why do you keep pushing it that way?
Because I'm twisting it. You're doing
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
See? We're in one of those tilty houses.
Okay.
There. There you go.
Are we good?
Okay, let's
Can you
start
see
over
us now?
again. Let's start over again.
Let's do it.
Let's turn off and do